You know, we all chase that perfect night's sleep. We buy the fancy pillows, the blackout curtains, we try all the meditation apps, we do everything we can think of to quiet our minds. But what if the real secret to deep, restorative rest isn't in our bedrooms or, get this, even in our brains? What if it's been hiding in a place we'd never think to look? Today, we are diving deep into the surprising connection between your gut and your sleep. And just to set the stage here, let's think about how huge this is. The average adult human spends about one-third of their entire life asleep. That's not just wasted time, no way. It's a crucial biological process that keeps us healthy, keeps our minds sharp, and basically keeps us going. And yet, for something so important, how many of us are actually any good at it? I mean, from tossing and turning all night to battling the snooze button every single morning, it feels like sleep problems have become a full-blown modern epidemic. They're messing with our moods, our health, our work, pretty much everything.
So, for years, we've tried to solve this by focusing on the brain, right? It's the body's command center, after all. But what if we've been looking in the completely wrong place this whole time? What if the key to unlocking an amazing night's sleep is actually deep inside your gut?
That's right. To really get this, we've got to take a little trip into this hidden world that's thriving inside every single one of us. Let's talk about the secret life of your gut. Now, the main character in this whole story is something called the gut microbiota. And this isn't just some abstract concept. We're talking about a bustling city of trillions of bacteria, viruses, and fungi all living inside your digestive system. Seriously, think of it like a complex living rainforest that plays a massive role in your health. And here is where it gets really interesting. This connection, it's a two-way street. A few nights of bad sleep can totally throw your gut microbes out of balance. But, and this is the kicker, an unhealthy gut can turn around and directly sabotage your sleep. It's a classic vicious cycle, and it can be incredibly hard to break. But how? I mean, how in the world can these tiny little organisms in your gut possibly have any say over something as complicated as your sleep? Well, the answer lies in something scientists are now calling the gut-brain superhighway. It honestly sounds a little bit like science fiction, doesn't it? How do these trillions of microbes actually send messages to your brain, telling it whether to feel sleepy or wide awake? It turns out they have a very sophisticated communication network. So here's how it works. First, your gut microbes act like these little chemical factories, producing all sorts of molecules. You can think of these molecules as text messages. Then, these messages travel all through your body and they activate key pathways, like your nerves. And finally, they reach their destination, your brain, where they can directly influence your brain activity, including your sleep-wake cycle. It's incredible. So what are these messages? Well, think of them as these special careers on the superhighway. A huge one is serotonin, the feel-good chemical. Turns out your gut is a major player in producing it, and it's also critical for regulating sleep. Then you have things called microbial metabolites, like butyrate, which studies show can actually increase that deep, restorative sleep we all crave. It's this whole complex system, using everything from the vagus nerve to your immune system to have a direct line to your brain. This whole communication network is pretty amazing, but it's also really delicate. So what happens when that gut-brain connection gets staticky or even breaks down completely? Well, the evidence is just piling up. I mean, study after study is showing this crystal clear link. When your gut is out of balance, the technical term is dysbiosis, your sleep quality tanks. It's a pattern that we're seeing across all kinds of health disorders. And the connection is surprisingly specific. For instance, researchers have found that people who suffer from insomnia tend to have way less diversity in their gut microbes. In people with obstructive sleep apnea, the whole composition of their gut community is different. And with narcolepsy, the entire mix is just fundamentally altered. The pattern is just undeniable. A troubled gut and troubled sleep often go hand in hand. And the fallout goes way beyond just feeling tired. A breakdown in this gut-brain communication can trigger body-wide inflammation, and it can even contribute to really serious metabolic problems like insulin resistance. So poor sleep is linked to even bigger health issues. Okay, so that's the problem. And we kind of get how it works, but what can we actually do about it? Let's get practical. Let's talk about how to hack your gut for better sleep. All right, one of the biggest tools in the toolbox you hear about are probiotics. These are basically the good guys. They're live, beneficial bacteria that you can introduce into your system to help bring some balance back to that internal ecosystem of yours. And this isn't just guesswork. Real research is starting to point to specific strains that can really help. Strains from the Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium families, for example, have been shown in studies to not only improve sleep quality, but also to boost your mood. Pretty cool, right? But hey, if probiotics are like planting new seeds in your garden, you've got to have fertilizer, right? That's where prebiotics come in. These are special kinds of fiber that your body can't digest, but your good gut bacteria absolutely love to chow down on them. They're literally the fuel that helps all the good microbes grow and thrive. So how do you actually put all this into practice? Well, it's probably simpler than you think. You can start by feeding your good microbes those prebiotic fibers from foods like onions, garlic, and bananas. You can bring in more good bacteria by eating fermented foods like yogurt or kimchi. Add in some antioxidant-rich polyphenols from things like berries and dark chocolate. And this is a big one. Manage your stress, because stress is one of the fastest ways to mess up that delicate gut-brain connection. You know, this isn't just some wellness fad. It's a really exciting new frontier in science. As the actual researchers in this field put it, the potential here is enormous. The simple idea of manipulating the gut microbiota, well, it could become a brand new and powerful way to help people sleep better. And that leaves us with this really fascinating final thought. For decades, we have looked straight to the brain to solve all our sleep problems. But what if the next great breakthrough in sleep medicine doesn't come from a neurologist, but from focusing on the trillions of tiny microbes that call our gut home? The answer? Well, it's still unfolding.